Open your eyes. And we'll come in a tabletop position. So you want your hands under your elbows, elbows under shoulders, so your full arm is in line. Same with the legs, knees under hips. Starting with a flat back. On the inhale, arching the spine. Look up to the ceiling, tailbone and head reaches to the sky. On the exhale, round the back and curl under into cat. Tailbone is reaching towards the mat, chin to chest. Inhale, curve the back, look up. And exhale, push the breath out, pushing the heart through the back towards the ceiling. Inhale, round up, cow. Exhale into cat, pushing the ground away as you exhale. Inhaling, letting the belly drop towards the mat. Head and tailbone reach to the sky. And exhale, round under. One more, inhale, looking up. Exhale, round under, curving the spine in. Then come back to a flat back. From here, we'll add the arms and legs. So beginning with right leg, reach it back towards the back of the room. Extending back. Either point or flex your toes. Keep that leg active. And then counterbalance. Come on to fingertips of the left hand or extend that left arm out ahead of you. Reaching like you're going to shake someone's hand in front of you. Hold for a breath here. And then on the exhale, bring the knee and elbow together, curling in. Pushing through the right arms. Reach long through the left arm on the inhale. Exhale, curl in, knee to elbow. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, curl in. Modifications, you can always do just the leg. Inhale, extend the leg out. Exhale, curl the leg into your chest. Or you can join that left arm. One more, inhale. Exhale, round in. On the last one, we'll hold out, reaching long through both arm and leg. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, set it down. Rest for a breath between sides. And then we'll move into opposite sides. So beginning with your left leg, reach it back. Flex or point that foot to keep the leg active. And come on to fingertips of the right arm. And then extend the right arm out ahead of you, reaching long in both directions. Inhale here. On the exhale, bringing the knee and elbow together. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch in. Inhaling, extending long. Exhale, curl in. When you curl in, trying to pick that back foot off the mat as well. Don't leave it low. One more, inhale out. Exhale, round in. And then the last one, holding out for an extra breath, extending long in both directions. Exhale, curl in, and then set it down. One wrist stretch before we move on. Turn the wrist 180 degrees, so fingers are pointing towards the back of the mat. Keep the palms rooted into the mat, and then slightly lean back into the wrist, feeling a stretch through the forearms and the wrist. You can sway side to side slightly, or come front to back. And then from here, turn the wrist back forward. Tuck the toes under and hover the knees, coming off the mat just a few centimeters. Remembering to breathe, inhale and exhale through the nose. And then set the knees down. And then next, inhale, pushing back, downward facing dog. You can readjust here, making sure there's even weight through both hands and both feet. Heels are reaching towards the mat, but they likely won't be touching. Let your head and neck drop. Shoulder blades extending down the back. Pushing the triceps together and forearms together. Reaching the tailbone high. Take a few breaths, sinking into your first downward facing dog. And then next inhale, look forward to your hands. And on your exhale, just walk up to the front of the mat. Coming into a forward fold at the top of the mat. And then on your next inhale, slowly rise, one vertebra at a time. Coming to stand at the top of your mat. And you get there, rolling the shoulders out, back. And a few rotations forward. And then come to stand in Tadasana. Both feet are firmly rooted into the mat. Arms are resting beside the body. Shoulders relaxed beside the ear and head reaching tall for the ceiling. Take a breath here, center yourself. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Watch the palms touch. And on the exhale, forward fold. Starting with sun salutation C. Inhale, look up. And then on the exhale, step the right foot back and bring the knee to the mat. Keeping our fingertips on the ground for our first one, reach the chest forward. And then exhale, plant the palms, step back into plank. Take a breath, inhale and plank. And on the exhale, lower down knees, chest, and chin to the mat. And then inhale up, cobra. Slight back bend, just low. And then exhale, sink down to the mat. Plant the palms beside the rib cage. Curl the toes under. And on your inhale, push up, plank. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then inhale, look forward. On the exhale, step the right foot forward. Left knee comes down. Staying on fingertips for our low lunge. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, lift the back knee and step up. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Fingertips on the mat or hands to shins. And then exhale, forward fold. Next inhale brings you all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Same thing, opposite side. So inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, flat back. On the exhale, left foot steps back, knee to the mat. Fingertips stay rooted, and inhale, reach the chest forward. On the exhale, plant the palms and step back to plank. Inhale and plank. And then on the exhale, lower down knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale, pull through, low cobra. And exhale, lower down. Planting the palms, inhale up to plank. And exhale, down and back. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Next inhale, looking forward. On the exhale, step the left foot up, right knee to the mat. Inhale on fingertips, reaching the chest to the front of the room. And exhale, stepping forward. Feet together, top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. And then inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. Exhale into Tadasana. One more flow. Same thing. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back. Right knee down. This time we'll rise up. So reaching the arms up overhead. Sinking into that front leg. Keeping the back leg active and reaching the spine tall towards the ceiling. Can add a small back bend. Palms can touch if it's comfortable. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, plank. And this time lower all the way to the mat. Keeping the palms rooted into the mat. Lift up, baby cobra. See if you can lift the palms off the mat. Using just the upper back to lift you. Feet stay rooted, pressure through the feet. And then exhale, lower. Curl the toes under, inhale, plank. And exhale back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, right foot steps forward, left knee comes down. And we'll add a twist. Keep the left palm rooted into the mat and sweep the right arm up above you. Twisting the chest open towards the right side of the room. Stay here another breath. And then on the exhale, both palms come to the mat and step the left foot forward, forward folding. Inhaling a flat back. And exhale to fold. Inhale sweeps you all the way up. And on the exhale, we'll fold right back into our forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping the left foot back, knee to the mat. And on the inhale, sweep the arms up. Bend deep into that right knee as you reach tall through the upper body. Slight back bend. And on the exhale, hands come to the mat, stepping back to our plank. And lowering on the exhale through vinyassa, chaturanga, all the way to the mat. Uncurl the toes, tops of the feet rooted into the mat, and lift up baby cobra. Again, see if you can hover the palms off the mat. One more breath, strengthening our lower back. And exhale, lower down. Curl the toes under. Inhale up to plank. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, the left foot comes forward, right knee to the mat. Keep the right palm rooted and sweep the left arm up, twisting open to the left side of the room. Breathing deep. And then exhale, left hand down. Step the right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding forward. And inhale all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. From here, going into sun salutation B, so bending our knees, starting with chair. Sweep the arms up overhead. Knees are bent, arms reaching high. Hold here for a breath. And then exhale, forward folding. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back, plank. We'll lower through a vinyasa. Chaturanga. Lowering all the way to the ground. Inhaling cobra. Extending deeper into the back now. Exhale, come down. Push up, plank, and downward facing dog. From down dogs, on the inhale, sweep your right leg up, reaching it to the back of the room, like you could touch something on the ceiling. And then exhale, curl the knee in and step it forward. Spinning the back heel down, lift up warrior one. Hips pointing towards the front of the room, arms extended up overhead. Back heel is firmly rooted. Inhale. On an exhale, drop the hands behind the back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, slight back bend. And then exhale, forward folding into humble warrior. Bringing the upper body on the inside of that right leg. Letting the arms drop over your head, opening the shoulders. Letting gravity pull your hands towards the mat in front of you. No stress in the neck. You should be able to shake your head yes and no. Remembering to breathe with both legs active here. On your next exhale, release the hands, let them sweep to the ground, and inhale brings you back up, warrior one. And then exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank, and lower vinyasa. You can always drop the knees, coming down. Chaturanga, inhaling. Cobra or up dog now. Up dog, you lift the knees off the mat, otherwise keeping them rooted. And then pushing back, downward facing dog. Going into our left leg, lift the left leg up on an inhale. Reaching it to the back of the room. Stay here for a breath. And next exhale, bringing the knee into your chest and stepping it forward. Right heel comes down and sweep your arms up on warrior one. Finding your footing before we move on. Both feet rooted, bending deep into the front knee and keeping the hips turned forward. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Reach up. And then exhale, hands behind you. Put the opposite thumb on top. And inhale, open the chest forward. Exhale, forward fold into humble warrior. Letting the arms fall overhead. Relaxing the neck and opening our shoulders. And then exhale, release the gripping of the hands. Let the hands sweep across the floor. And inhale, sweeps you straight up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back plank. And one more vinyasa, lowering chaturanga. Always can modify with the knees down. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, back downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths. And then inhale, look forward. And step up to the front of the mat on the exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, bending the knees, sweeping back up in a chair. Hands overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart centered. Bending deeper into that chair pose. Maybe extending the hands out in front of you. And then exhale, forward fold. Releasing the low back. Next, inhale sweeps you up. Reaching tall. And exhale, heart center. One more, inhale. Knees bend, arms come up. Chair pose. Sinking weight into the heels. Even pressure from the front balls of the feet through the backs. And then exhale, forward folding. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back, plank. And lower vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog or cobra. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Sweep your right leg up on the inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, step it through, warrior one. Back heel spins down, arms come up. And then exhale, warrior two. Open the hips, back foot parallel with the back edge of the mat, arms extending long in both directions. Sinking deeper into that front knee. Hold our warrior for a breath. And then inhale, reverse, left hand down the back leg. Right arm overhead. Inhaling here. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Take a breath there. And then exhale, side angle. Either elbow to knee or fingertips to the mat. Left arm overhead. A long diagonal line from the left fingers down to the left toes. Inhale. Next exhale brings you back, warrior two. Straighten the front leg and parallel your feet. So toes turned in, heels out. Bring your hands to your hips, inhaling. Exhale, forward fold, flat back. And then drop the hands to the mat in front of you. If you don't feel the stretch in your legs, you can always widen the stance. Lowering down, bending the elbows, sinking you into this pose. Keeping the legs straight and active, pushing through the outside edges of both feet. We'll add a twist, so bring our left hand to the center of the mat. On your inhale, sweep the right arm up. Trying to keep the hips parallel. We don't want to turn our hips here. Keeping the hips parallel, arm reaches high. One line from the right hand to the left. Take another inhale. And on your next exhale, lower the right hand to the mat. And sweep the left arm up on the inhale. Eyes can look up to the left hand or it can stay down looking at the bottom mat to keep no stress in the neck. One more inhale and exhale brings the hands back down. Hands to hips and on the inhale stand up tall. Turn the right foot back out straight and step the left foot in about a third of the way. Coming into a Parsva Konasana. Inhale, look up. On the exhale, forward folding over your front leg. Hands can stay on the hips, come to the shin or down to the mat. Extending the back forward and then down. Feeling a stretch through our hamstrings, the right leg. As you stay here, maybe you can sink deeper into it, using the palms to push you down. And relaxing the neck. And then inhale, look up, plant both pins, bend the right knee, and we're going to step the left leg back, step the right leg back, plank, and lower vinyasa. Inhaling cobra, and exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lifts the left leg straight up and back, extending long. Exhale, knee to chest, and step it through, warrior one. Inhale, arms come up. Take a breath before we move. And then exhale, open. Warrior two. Left foot forward. Right foot parallel with the back edge of the mat. Bending deep into that left knee. Arms extended. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stay here for a breath. And then exhale, warrior two. Take a breath. And exhale, side angle. Elbow to knee, arm overhead, or fingertips to the mat. Opening the chest to the side of the room as you extend long. Right fingers to right toes. And then next inhale, back up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg and parallel the feet again. This time we'll interlace fingers behind the back. Inhale, open the chest to the ceiling. And on the exhale, forward fold. Letting the arms drop overhead towards the ground in front of you. Getting a shoulder stretch as we work the legs. And then inhale, release the hands, bring it under the mat. And then exhale, hands to hips, and inhale, stand up tall. Turning back to the front of the mat, left foot forward, right foot steps in a bit at a 45-degree angle. And this time, you have options with the hands. They can go behind you, same interlace. You can grab opposite elbows behind you. We're working reverse namaste, bringing the hands together behind the back. Inhale, chest to the ceiling. And the exhale, forward folding over your left leg. Keeping the body over line of the left leg. Relaxing the neck. And extending the spine long. Take one more breath, and then wherever you overhead the hands, release them to the mat. And step back into plank. And lower through a vinyassa here. Chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. From here, step forward again into plank. We're going to come into forearm plank. So lowering the right forearm to the mat, and then left forearm down. You might have to move the feet back a little bit. And we're going to hold here a few breaths. So we don't want our tailbone up in the sky. You also don't want to dip in your back, creating that curve. So flat line. Imagine you're pulling your feet to your hands and hands to your feet, activating the core. One more breath. And then exhale, knees down. Uncurl the toes and lower down all the way to the mat. Take a breath to relax. And then coming into Sphinx. So forearms stay on the mat. Feet are rooted, hips, legs together. So ankles touching, knees touching, inner thighs touching. From here, pull the chest forward in Sphinx. So extending the back long. Head is to the ceiling. Imagine you're trying to pull your chest to touch the front of the room. Legs are rooted into the mat. And then release, lower all the way to the mat. Bring the arms beside the body. Palms can face up and turn your head to one side, resting the cheek on the mat. And then coming back to center. Keeping the feet rooted, we'll go into locust pose, Shalabhasana. So lifting first the shoulders and the hands, reaching the arms towards the back of the room, palms facing up, extending the head forward as you lift up. We want to elongate the spine here. And then exhale, lower down, turning the cheek to the other side of the room, relaxing the body. And then one more time, but adding our legs in. So inhale to prepare, exhale, lifting up shoulders, and then add the legs on. Extending the legs back, head forward, elongating the spine as you lift up. Remembering to breathe. 2 more breaths. And exhale, lower all the way to the mat. You can rock your hips side to side here, release tension there. And then bring your hands back beside the body and lift up all the way back into child's pose. So bring knees wide, toes together, and let the back release, keeping the arms extended. Arms feel like they're in downward facing dog. Forehead can come to the mat. And let the tailbone release onto the back feet, letting the hips release, lower back release. And then bring your feet together, knees together, and lift up and back, downward facing dog. From here, working into our hips, so we're going to go into pigeon. Lifting the left leg up and back, stretching long. Exhale, bring the knee in and foot to the mat. So our right knee comes down, left knee is behind the left wrist, left ankle behind the right wrist. If you can comfortably have the front leg parallel with the mat, otherwise you can curl that leg in a bit, pointing the toes and lowering down. Making sure the back leg is extended straight up behind you, and then either staying here or you can lower down out, forearms, letting the hips sink into the stretch. So hips should stay even. We don't want to sit into our left hip or roll onto the right. Hips are even, parallel with the mat. Keeping that back leg active as well. Pulling it, imagine you're pulling the leg forward as it rests. You can always lower all the way down. Or if you have a block or something, rest your head on so the upper body can relax. And then lifting back up, palms into the mat. Curl the back toes under and lift left leg up and back. Opening the hip here, stretching out what we just worked. You can add hip circles, spinning through the ankle, the hip. And then square it off and lower that leg back down. And opposite side, right leg extends long. And then pull the right knee in and lower it into pigeon. So again, knee behind the wrist, ankle behind our wrist. Either foot parallel, foot is flexed, or curling it in, pointing the toes, checking that back leg is extended long, and lowering forearms. Finding something to rest the head on, or you can make a pillow with your hands. And releasing into the right hip. Breathing deep. And staying here for a few breaths. And then to release the stretch, coming back to palms. Curl the back toes under and push up 3-limb down dog. So extending the right leg up and back, bending the knee and opening up that hip flexor. You can circle the leg or ankle. And then exhale, both legs back down. One more vinyasa to reset. Shift forward into plank pose. And then lower chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. From here, look to the hands. And we're gonna come to seat. So either stepping forward, sitting down, or adding a hop. Hop forward, cross the legs, and come to seated. So from here, legs extend out long ahead of us. You can move the flesh from under your sit bones. So we're sitting firmly rooted into the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, forward fold, keeping the spine long. So you don't want to curl into it here. Keeping your spine long, folding forward. Hands might then drop down to ankles, shins, or around the feet if you can grab hold long as you stretch forward. And then the last breath, you can let the curve, back curve, extending deeper into our forward fold. And then the inhale brings you up. We'll add a twist here. So bring left leg under, right leg across, Ardha Matsyendrasana. So right foot is rooted into the mat. Both sit bones are rooted. So if you have to come up, if your tailbone's shifting up, you can bring that left foot forward, keeping the right leg rooted. Bring the right hand behind you to help lengthen the spine. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, twisting. Left elbow to right knee. Each inhale extends the spine longer. Exhale brings you deeper into the twist. Stay here, another breath, inhaling. Exhale, deeper, looking over that right shoulder. And then releasing. Switching sides, bringing the right leg under, left foot across. Again, both sit bones firmly rooted, left leg firmly rooted. Inhale, left arm up and back. Reaching the spine long before we twist, and then inhale, right arm sweeps up and twisting, right elbow, left knee. Looking over the back shoulder, keeping the spine long. Sitting tall as you reach back. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Come back to your center. Come into Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come together. Interlace fingers around the toes. Inhale, sit up tall. And then exhale, forward fold. Opening the inner thighs. Stretching the heart forward. And then exhale, release. Bring the knees together. We're going to come back to our knees. So rolling over the feet, come back to knees. Step the right foot up. And back leg is stretching into our hamstring first. Lower the hips back. Flex the right foot and lower over that right leg. Feeling a stretch through the back of the right leg. And then shifting forward, bringing the hands beside the right foot. Back toes can curl under or stay flexed. We're going to reach back now with our right hand to try to grab that left foot. Opening the chest. So the right foot can stay rooted, or you can come onto the ball edge of the right foot opening that right hip. And if you can't reach the back leg, you can just twist and then sinking into that right hip. So again, staying rooted, fronting forward. Or you can come under the ball edge and sinking into that right hip, letting the back release. Option to grab the back leg. Opening the chest. And then if you have the foot releasing, coming back to center, step the right knee back and left foot comes forward. So first shifting the hips back, coming into our hamstring stretch, flexing the left foot, lowering the body over the left leg. And then inhale brings you up, crawling back forward. Right arm rooted, twisting left, either looking over the left shoulder or reaching for that back leg. If you can grab foot or ankle. And then lowering into the left hip, opening, stretching open. Again, foot is optional. You can just be twisting here, working into that hip. And then both hands come down. Step both feet back and stretch back one more time in child's pose. This time knees stay together. Head comes to the mat. So we should be about center on our mat. From here, sitting up tall, we're just going to bring the feet out in front of us. Firmly root both feet into the mat and slowly lower down, trying to use your core to keep the movement controlled and lowering all the way to the mat. From here, bring the knees up to 90-degree angle, hands out at a T, reaching to both sides of the body. And we're going to get a little core, oblique, and low back work. So keeping the knees rooted, firmly rooted together, we're going to just exhale, drop the knees over to the left. You might go halfway, or if you lower all the way. You don't want to feel a pull in the low back though. So if you can feel it here, you only go part of the way. Inhale brings you back up. And then exhale over to the left, halfway, 2/3, or a hover. Inhale, rising up. Keeping the arms rooted into the mat to help stabilize the body. Exhale, lower left. So moving with the breath, inhale up. Exhale, lower down. Keeping the 90-degree angle, the legs glued together, and just moving with your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Let's go 2 more each side, so lowering back left. Coming up and right. And then one more, exhale, lowering left. Center and right. And center. From here, curl the knees in. You can give yourself hog rocking side to side. And get another hamstring stretch. So we're going to extend the left leg out, lowering it to the mat ahead of us. Heel roots into the mat. And from here, we're going to extend the right leg up. So if you can reach the thigh, you start with the thigh, reach for the calf, or flexible, getting the upper toes. Or you can also use a belt or towel here, finding a towel to wrap around the foot so you can pull down. Example, if you have something, towel strap, wrapping it around that upper foot so you can keep the shoulders relaxed. You don't want to have your shoulders slumped up. So reach in here and then pulling that leg towards you, opening the hip, keeping the lower back rooted into the mat here. You don't want the back curling up. So left leg's rooted, lower back's rooted, shoulders are relaxed, and pulling that right leg in. Stay for another breath, really stretching through that right leg. And then exhale, bend the knee, and we'll do a spinal twist. So lowering left knee over the body, coming towards the right. Arms stay out in a T this time. Left hand can either stay on the floor or you can use the left hand to guide that leg down. It doesn't have to reach the floor. It might hover above, but you want the shoulders to stay rooted. So if your right shoulder needs to come up to get it down, then you come back. Right shoulder stays in the mat, right arm extended. And you can drop your gaze to the right. And then inhale back up through center. Curl both legs in, hugging your knees in. And let's go back to those rotations. So arms out in a T, knees at a 90-degree angle. And we're gonna lower left. And then bring it back up through center. Lower to the right, center. Again, moving with your breath, inhaling. Exhale pulls you out. Inhale. Keeping the legs glued together, lowering as far as your back allows for. Two more. Left, center, right, center. And final one. And then coming back to center, hug your knees in one more time. And this time extending the left leg long, letting that foot come to the mat. And then extending left foot up towards the ceiling, grabbing either behind the thigh, the ankle, or getting a strap to wrap around your foot, or grabbing those toes. So keep the right foot rooted into the mat, pelvis down, left leg reaching towards your face, wherever you can grab that's comfortable. Rooting the lower back into the mat as you stretch that left leg up and back. And then slowly releasing the left leg, bending the left knee, and we'll go into that twist. So left knee at a 90-degree angle, twisting it across the body. Keeping the left shoulder rooted into the mat, and looking towards the left hand. Stay for one more breath here. And then exhale, center. Hug both knees in. And then lower the knees to the mat, firmly rooting both feet about hip width apart. You want your feet closer to your tailbone is going to be a little more challenging, or farther away. Coming into some final back bends, bridge pose. So starting with our hands rooted into the mat, feet rooted into the mat. On the inhale, just lifting the tailbone off the mat. Not going to our full extension yet. You want your glutes to be soft, so you don't want to be clenching your butt together. Let it relax. Work comes through the quads and legs. And then exhale, lower down. We'll do 3 back bends, so progressively adding a little more height, a little more strength. So preparing again, inhale, lifts you up. This time if you want to curl the shoulder blades under, reaching your back higher. So hands can clasp under your body, shoulders curl under the back to get a higher lift. And then exhale, release the shoulders first and lower the back down. Feeling the lower back rooted into the mat. Breathing. And then one more time. Inhale, lifting up. Either staying here, palms rooted into the mat, or you can reach the hands under the back, lifting higher into your bridge. Lifting the pelvis towards the sky. Neck is relaxed. You don't want tension in your neck. Even weight still through both feet. Feet are active, legs are lifting. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, slowly release the shoulders, then release the legs. Open the feet wide to each edge of the mat and let the knees fall in. You can windshield wiper here, letting left leg open, and then left leg sink in. Windshield wipering your knees, side to side, releasing the lower back. And then extend the legs long. Reach the arms overhead, and we're going to sit up. So using the core to lift you up, curling up, inhale, arms to the sky, and exhale, forward fold. And we'll do one more roll down. So rolling back down, arms extend overhead. And one more time lifting up. Inhale, arms to the ceiling, and then curling up, using your core to lift you up. Inhale, tall, and exhale, forward fold. Relaxing here into your forward fold, releasing the low back, and letting any tension go. And then inhale, sit up. Exhale. We're going to lower down again, bringing the knees in with you, and going into happy baby. So feet are flexed, tailbone into the mat. So you can grab either the inside or the outside of the feet here. You don't want the tailbone to come off the mat though. So tailbone stays down. Goal is to keep the shoulders relaxed, stretching our hips. You can always do a one leg variation, bringing one foot to the mat, stretching the right foot by itself, and then switching sides, bringing the left foot, right foot comes down to the mat, pushing in the mat, or keeping both. And then a final variation for our happy baby is a wide leg, opening the legs out like our wide leg forward fold. Keeping the low back rooted, extending long. And then finally releasing, bringing the legs in. Give yourself a hug. Now you're rocking side to side. And then lift up, arms and legs to the ceiling. And slowly lower the right leg down, letting the foot relax, leg relax. Left leg lowers down to meet the right. At this point, lower body's fully relaxed, letting the legs, ankles, knees, and hips sink into the mat. Following with the right arm, and slowly lowering the left arm. Palms are facing up. Relax your head and neck into the mat. And sink into Shavasana for the end.